What's up, guys? YGO Strats coming at you with the new meta. And what do I mean by the new meta? I mean Floodgate.deck. I've gone over these cards' effects, and I can't believe that this is going to be a pain in my ass in the near future. These are coming out in the set after Breakers of Shadows, Shining Victories, I believe it is called. SHVI, I think, yeah, Shining Victories makes sense. These are the new Pendulum archetype that matches the attribute. So in Clash of Rebellions, you got Ignites as a Pendulum Fire. In Dimensions of Chaos, we got Magispectre. In Breakers of Shadows, we'll be getting Dino Mist, and their water, and they've each had, you know, their own little pendulum thing and their attribute matching it. And now we are getting the Earth guys in the form of Amorphage. And going over it, you can see they've got these little like staffs sticking out of it, and that's very similar to the Vector Pendulum staff here. So I'm 98% sure that this is the Draco Fiend army that is mentioned in the text of Drake Overlord. So that's the story aspect of it if you're interested in it, but what you're probably more interested in is how broken these fucking cards are. And pardon my language. First off, we have Amorphage Irritum. I'm going Irritum. I don't know. I can't speak or read or anything like that. It is Earth Pendulum Dragon effect. Pendulum scales 5. Its level is 8. It has 2,750 attack and 0 defense. So it's all about that mass chameleon doll. Pendulum effect. During each of your standby phases, destroy this card unless you tribute one monster. And while you control an Amorphage monster, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead, except Amorphage cards. So while there's an Amorphage monster on board, your opponent is playing under macro. Its monster effect is neither player can special summon monsters from the extra deck except Amorphage monsters. So when it's in the scale, you don't get to summon, or you don't get to have a graveyard, and when you've got it on board as a 2750 beater, you can't special summon from the extra deck. No pendulum summoning, Pepe can't do their bullshit, and you know, like, you can't make your El Shaddai Winda or anything like that, or any extra deck cards, so everything's gonna be irrelevant once this thing's on board, except for maybe Monarchs with their tribute summons, but don't worry, they have an answer to that too. Because we have Amorphage Cavum, level 4, of course. Scale 5, it is a Dragon, Earth, Pendulum, they're all the same like that. Its Pendulum scale effect is during each of your standby phases, destroy this unless you tribute one monster. But while you control an Amorphage monster, neither player can chain cards or effects. So you can't, you know, play Wavering Eyes and chain your Wavering Eyes. You can't play MST and chain something else. You can't chain anything. You can't respond. That's the stupidest thing I've read in a while. It has 0 attack and 250 defense. So no chameleon plays there. I could be wrong in my earlier statement, in which case ignore it. But so yeah, no chaining effects. And then its monster effect is if it was pendulum summoned or flipped face up, neither player can special summon monsters from the extra deck except for Amorphage monsters. So you don't need to have the big guy out to have that little effect of saying don't summon anything from the extra deck. There's also, this guy looks cool, he's got like a wolf on him, and again, you can see he's got the staff sticking out of him here. This guy is clearly like a sea monster or something, and he's got the staff sticking out of him, so it's definitely the Drake Overlord of Fiend Army. The Draco Fiends. Amorphage Olga, hideously named, and cool looking, I gotta say. Level 4, scale 3, Pendulum effect, during each of your standby phases, tribute a monster or destroy this card. While you control an Amorphage monster, neither player can tribute monsters except Amorphage monsters. So Monarchs can't do anything if this is on the board, because they can't tribute summon. They can't even tribute to activate card effects. You can't even do anything like this. Shuts down Magispectres and Monarchs. Not that Magispectres are probably too irrelevant in the OCG, but you get my point. Its monster effect is, again, when it's Pendulum or flip face up, neither player can special summon monsters from the extra deck except Amorphage monsters. So it's completely anti-meta in like every aspect. It's shutting down Magispectres, and more importantly, Monarchs, which is the one I meant to say that starts with an M. It's shutting down extra deck plays like Pepe, Perform Pal, all that fun stuff. And it's not letting you chain anything like Wavering Eye shenanigans and stacking all your little Ardanes or whatever they're called. And then finally, for their support, we have one continuous spell card that says you can only use the second effect of it once per turn. It's Amorphage Infection, and you can see this little hedgehog that got hit by a staff and is presumably becoming one of the Amorphages now. So I don't know if we'll get that in like a Wave 2 support or if it's another monster that we haven't seen, because there's definitely more to this archetype than just the few monsters we've seen. Mostly because I don't recognize the Scorpion guy here, and that's got to be a monster. And this is probably showing another one, but either way, all Amorphage monsters on the field gain 100 attack and defense for each Amorphage card on the field. So 2 scales in this, everything's gaining 300 attack, which will put them up to 2350 or 3050 attack or defense, depending on what it is. The second effect is if a monster in your hand or your side of the field is tributed, destroyed by battle, or destroyed by card effect, you can add one Amorphage card from your deck to your hand. And wow, that's stupid. So during your standby phase, every time you tribute one of them to do whatever, search another one out anyways. And then, you know, if your opponent destroys one by battle or MSTs one or something, go ahead and add one anyways, unless they're hitting this, which they probably should be. But not that they're going to be chaining it if they have that monster on board. And then finally, we've got a very blurry, unclear image of the cover card and ultimately the monster on the pack, and that is Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. And I believe that's going to be like Odd Eyes Rebellion XYZ Dragon, just in the sense that it was the upgraded version of Dark Rebellion and also a pendulum monster. This is clearly, Crystal Wing Synchro is clearly an upgrade of Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. So I can see it being a Synchro Pendulum one just because you do have one Exceed Pendulum already. And I mean, it looks really cool, but holy shit. I mean, it looks like the most anti-meta deck we've had in a long while. They're all little dragons, so they're definitely going to be popular. They're going to be meta as shit. And I mean, like, you're looking at the secret rare, the ultra rare, and then super, super. Like, I suspect you're going to get 2 or 3 more cards. I mean, Ignites, Magispectors had about 5 monsters. Ignites had plenty and got a little bit more support. It's going to be a stupid archetype, I'm sure. Definitely going to be top contender in the metagame, just in terms of what it can do to shut down Pepe and Monarchs, which are obviously the 2 biggest threats in the OCG, as well as Burning Abyss, but I don't know how good or bad it is against Burning Abyss there in the OCG. The inability to chain things is always going to be a problem for every deck. And in terms of Kozmo, they might have a solid matchup just because you'd special summon from the hand. And even if everything's banished, it's like, you know what, go ahead. It's I'm going to Kozmo Town it back anyway. So Kozmo might see a bump in popularity against this deck the same way Yang Zing has against Kozmo in a meta that's being run by Kozmo. So it'll be interesting to see how it all affects the game. These cards look cool as hell. I hate that I'm going to have to buy them. And my friends are going to hate playing against them because everyone's on that, you know, Magician, Pendulum, soul boner that we've all got going for it. So go ahead, let me know what you guys think. This deck's going to be stupid as hell, but I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to playing this card right here. This is a sick looking boss monster. There is the question of, are they going to be able to summon from the extra deck in terms of, you know, other than Amorphage? They're all level 4, which means they'll have rank 4 access, but if you can't, unless they get an Amorphage extra deck card, it's kind of hindering the level 4 access, just because if they're Pendulum Summoned, you can't do anything, and you're probably going to be Pendulum Summoning to overlay. So go ahead, let me know what you guys think. No other of these archetypes, Dynamis, Magispector, Ignites, have received their own Exceed, Synchro, or Fusion, anything like that, extra deck support, so they would be odd out to do that. And then actually, in terms of the Draco Slayer, the Draco Vector, or Vector Pendulum, the Drake Overlord, good god, I don't know its name, but this guy, the Draco Slayer card definitely got support in terms of Fusion, Exceed, and Synchro. So the last one to get is technically Ritual, going off of things like Burning Abyss and the whole, you know, the 4 main summoning types, excluding Pendulum, which is obviously what it is. So you could see a Ritual version of Vector Pendulum, potentially, or a Draco Slayer Ritual one as well, depending on how they do it, if they follow the trend that they've got. Also, if they follow the trend, these guys are going to get Amorphage are going to get a field spell that will picture or show the Draco Slayer or Draco Overlord transforming into the combined version of it. But that's just going off of what we've got so far. There's no guarantee there. I can only promise you what you've seen, and what you've seen is going to be game-changing, because a macro on board that doesn't let you summon from the extra deck while on board, my god. I mean, at least you have to tribute this. They're all scale 3 and 5, so this 8 isn't going to be pendulum summoned on you, and there's really no deck that I know of that can actually pendulum summon it, because scale 9 is just so unheard of. But obviously bar Cleafort, but they're only selling Cleafort, so irrelevant. Also, one scout, hashtag destroyed. So let me know what you guys think. I've gone off on a tangent again. Amorphage kicking ass in the meta, coming soon. This will probably be out, it's coming out in January, so probably 3 or 4 months after January, March, April area. And that's my cat playing with a toy, so pardon that noise, but there you go. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Get prepared. Buy your lube, because this is going to destroy you, most likely, sometime soon, and especially on DN. But yeah, thanks for watching. YGS Strats. We'll catch you next time.